Madeleine McCann was not abducted.
Wow. What do you think happened then?
I tend to agree with the Portuguese police.
She died then. How could we have disposed or hidden her body, when there was an immediate threat? It's just nonsense. And if she died when we were in there...
Hello everyone, and welcome. As a seasoned crime analyst and storyteller, I'm here to unravel the complex details of true crime cases and present them in a way that's both engaging and easy to understand. Today, we're diving deep into the latest developments in the Madeleine McCann case. More than 18 years have passed since Madeleine McCann disappeared, and while the case has taken many twists, one theory remains. Was there some involvement from her parents? In this video, we'll break down the biggest red flags surrounding Kate and Gerry McCann, and why so many people still have doubts. Don't forget to subscribe if you're into true crime breakdowns like this, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Let's start with what many consider to be the very first and most baffling red flag. Kate and Gerry McCann left their 3 children alone in a holiday apartment while they went out to dinner. Today's video will be a detailed look at why, nearly 2 decades later, so many people still question the official story of Madeleine's disappearance and her parents' role in it. I'm not making any criminal accusations. This video just lays out the main red flags and documented details, some from police files, some from the McCanns themselves, that keep this debate alive after 18 years.
I think that's a very difficult thing to say, because if you look at it and we try to rationalise things in our head, and ultimately what is done, and we do continually look forward. But we've tried to put it into some sort of perspective for ourselves. We're in a very safe resort. If you think about the millions and millions of British families who go to the Mediterranean each year, really the chances of this happening are in the order of 100 million to 1.
It's been over 18 years since Madeleine McCann vanished from a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal. She was just 3. Her twin siblings were only 18 months old. Yet on the night of May 3rd, 2007, Kate and Gerry McCann went out to dinner with friends, leaving all 3 children asleep and alone in the apartment. They later said they checked on them every 15 to 30 minutes, but they weren't using baby monitors, hadn't arranged childcare, and were at a tapas bar about a 2-minute walk away. For many, that decision was the first major red flag, especially considering they were both doctors, educated, and well-traveled individuals who should have been aware of potential risks. Even more unsettling, another couple staying at the same resort had previously warned staff that someone tried to open their patio door. There were already signs of security concerns at the Ocean Club. The McCanns have always admitted that leaving their children alone was a terrible mistake, but they insist they never imagined something like this could happen.
Had lots of nanny facilities, and they weren't that expensive to use, and you both were professionals earning money. Another criticism that's put to you is, why didn't you just pay to have a nanny if you wanted to go out for dinner?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a question of money. We did what we thought was best in the kids' routines, and I think as parents, we had a very good routine in terms of the whole bath, bed, story type thing. And I take your point, but for me, if your children are asleep upstairs in a bedroom and you're dining in the garden, you're out of sight and you can't hear them. And that's the similar thing to me.
Another big question has always been how an abductor could have gotten in and out without anyone noticing. The McCanns said Madeleine must have been taken through the bedroom window, but this claim never sat right with investigators. The window was on the first floor, not ground level, was small, and faced the side, not the street. There was no damage to the shutters or signs of forced entry. Gerry said he checked the children around 9:05 p.m. and everything seemed fine. Kate went in at about 10 o'clock p.m. and Madeleine was gone. But during that 55-minute window, no one in their group heard or saw anything suspicious. Statements from the Tapas Seven, their friends dining with them, also changed over time, creating confusion about who checked when and what they saw. Some investigators think the timeline may have been blurred on purpose to protect someone. And if the window wasn't used, how did an abductor get in or out? Another thing that stood out to many was the McCanns' public demeanor. They quickly began holding press conferences and doing interviews, sometimes appearing calm and controlled, even criticized for seeming cold. Kate, in particular, wasn't visibly emotional in the way people expected from a grieving mother. They have said they were trying to stay strong for their other children, but it left some viewers and even investigators uneasy. Within a week, they'd hired a professional PR firm to manage their image. Later, they even used Bell Pottinger, a company known for handling high-profile, controversial clients. Photos of them jogging, smiling, or holding hands in public were widely published and often criticized as being tone-deaf during a global search for their missing child. Critics argue it looked like they were managing a brand rather than just desperately searching for Madeleine. 3 months after Madeleine disappeared, British police brought in cadaver and blood dogs. One dog, Eddie, was trained to detect the scent of human remains, even if the body was long gone. The other, Keeler, could detect human blood. Eddie alerted near the wardrobe in the parents' bedroom and by the window curtains in their holiday apartment. But the most debated alert came from the trunk of a rental car the McCanns had hired weeks after Madeleine vanished. Both dogs alerted there, and later, biological traces were found. DNA tests were inconclusive, but showed partial matches to Madeleine. The McCanns said they had transported trash, diapers, and raw meat in the car, suggesting innocent explanations. But many investigators and the public found these alerts deeply troubling.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is a very big tunnel. That was a pink noise. Oh.
One striking detail from the Portuguese police files is that only 13 hours after Madeleine disappeared, Kate McCann told a social worker she believed a couple had taken her daughter. The social worker, Yvonne Martin, had over 25 years in child protection and found this deeply unusual. At that point in the investigation, there was no evidence suggesting that a couple was involved. It raised the question of why Kate was so specific so quickly. Yvonne Martin tried to speak with Kate privately about this inconsistency, hoping to clarify it without outside influence. But David Payne, a close friend of the McCanns, who was there with them, intervened. He interrupted the conversation, led Kate and Gerry away, and told Martin they didn't want her help. Another important witness statement comes from Pamela Fenn, who lived directly above the McCanns' holiday apartment. On the night Madeleine vanished, she heard a noise outside and asked Gerry McCann what was going on. According to her police statement, he replied that a small girl had been taken. Critics point out that he didn't say, "my daughter," or "Madeleine," just a small girl, and didn't seem panicked or emotional about it. That choice of words, so soon after a child's disappearance, has fueled debate over whether the parents' early language and behavior felt too detached or rehearsed. 4 months after Madeleine's disappearance, Kate and Gerry were officially named arguidos, or formal suspects. Kate was brought in for questioning and was asked 48 questions. She answered only one. She said her lawyer advised her not to cooperate because police were trying to frame her. While refusing to answer isn't illegal, many saw it as suspicious. Among the questions she wouldn't answer were, why didn't you check the children's room more thoroughly? Did you give the children sedatives? Why didn't you call for help immediately? To critics, her silence looked like she was hiding something. From the start, the McCanns managed their public image with professional help. They hired crisis PR firms within days, held controlled press events, gave managed interviews, and even threatened legal action against media outlets that suggested they were involved. Some saw this as understandable, a way to keep Madeleine's face in the news. Others saw it as an aggressive attempt to shape the narrative. Portuguese police even claimed this media strategy complicated the investigation and distorted public perception. Goncalo Amaral, the original lead Portuguese detective on the case, publicly stated he believed the McCanns were involved in covering up their daughter's death. Amaral pointed to several red flags: timeline inconsistencies in their statements, the absence of forced entry into the apartment, and alerts from specialized dogs indicating the scent of human remains in the McCanns' rental car and holiday apartment. Based on this, he theorized that Madeleine passed away in the apartment, possibly in a tragic accident, and that her parents orchestrated a cover-up. However, Amaral's investigation was cut short. He was removed from the case just months in, and later claimed he was forced out for challenging the official narrative and for being too vocal in his suspicions. After his dismissal, Amaral published a controversial book outlining his theory, which ignited a series of lengthy and highly publicized legal battles with the McCanns. Despite being officially named suspects or arguidos in 2007, the Portuguese Attorney General cleared the McCanns of any involvement in 2008, citing a lack of concrete evidence. While some believed this was the right call, others questioned the decision, pointing out that many witness statements remained conflicting. Some forensic questions were still unanswered, and several investigative leads had yet to be resolved. Adding to the controversy were reports of British political pressure. Then Prime Minister Gordon Brown allegedly offered diplomatic support to the McCanns and urged Portuguese officials to handle the situation with sensitivity. The decision to clear the McCanns remains one of the most hotly debated aspects of the case. To critics, it wasn't just a legal decision. It was a potential turning point that shaped the entire course of the investigation. At one point during a televised interview, Gerry McCann, Madeleine's father, was directly asked a chilling question. In the edited version that was widely circulated, Gerry responds quickly and firmly.
Did you kill your daughter?
No, that's an emphatic no. I mean, the ludicrous thing is what's been purported from Portugal is that Madeleine died in the apartment by an accident and we hid her body. Well, when did she have the accident and died?
However, in the unedited raw footage, Gerry's answer is slightly different in tone and delivery. Here's what he actually said.
With any logic that could, you would have to start with why, how, when, who, and there's just simply, the answer to any of these things is there's nothing to suggest anything. So, no.
Some people felt the edited version sounded more confident and polished, while the raw version came across as more hesitant and rambling. This led to speculation online, but journalists later confirmed the raw version is indeed the real, unaltered footage, and was not edited to mislead. 18 years later, the McCanns maintain their innocence. But for many, these red flags haven't faded. The decision to leave toddlers alone, the uncertain timeline, the dog's alerts, the silence in police interviews, the carefully managed public relations, and a lead investigator who insists they know more than they've said. These aren't wild conspiracy theories. They're documented details from police files, witness statements, and the McCann's own words. Whether you see them as tragic coincidences or signs of something darker is up to you. How do you feel about these lingering questions and the details that have kept the case in the public eye for so long? What action would you take if you were able to influence the outcome of this case? Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives like this, make sure you subscribe to Chanel and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one. See you in the next video.
Yay, well done. Okay, let's sing another one.
My shoe.
That is your shoe. What colour is it?
These are my shoes.
Are they new?
Yeah,
And what colour are they?
pink.
Lovely. And you know it.
Clap your hands. Clap your hands together. 1, 2, 3.
Yay, well done. Okay, let's sing another one.